Welcome to All Business No Bull. I'm very excited about today's episode. I happen to come across a true gem, and my standards are pretty high, of an individual, an organization, and a team, which not only markets, but has come up with a comprehensive system unlike any other I've seen. But you know what? Let's save the juice for our discussion. It's with pleasure and great honor that I'd like to introduce today's special guest, Michael Pitts, president of Black Business Orlando. Nice to have you, Michael. Welcome.
Thank you, brother. Yeah. It's great to be here.
You know, in the short time that we've known each other, I suddenly discovered that you wear many hats in life.
Yes.
And I shouldn't be surprised either. Through my experience, I know I'm older than you are. Yeah, I know I'm older than you are. I can tell that you've done a lot in life. And what I've seen is that all instances of success, especially in business and in life, there's always some story that comes behind it, a story that culminates in a vision. And what I saw in Black Business Orlando, and of course I was just scraping the surface, what I saw was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about how that vision came about?
So Black Business Orlando started in 2014. There was a group of women, Jazzy, Renee Washington, we call herself Patrona Ramsey, which was the president and founder, which was Jazzy, Renee. And then there was a group of men, great group of people started the organization, started getting out in the community. And the whole ideal was to create a place or a marketplace where people can support Black businesses, and then Black businesses can get their support as far as resources, funding, education, as far as marketing, the whole nine. And the goal was to create this hub, right, for Central Florida, which was the one thing. There's a lot of business groups which are all over the country, which aren't as beneficial. So it makes more sense to have a local group where everyone can kind of work together and build the group economics in a sense. So they built it up to right now. Before I took over as president, it was at about 25,000. We're now up to 27,000 members. So it's grown quite a bit, and we're taking it into a new direction now. So we have some new resources, some new opportunities, some partnerships that are really going to explode it.
I come from an ethnicity that is very community and family oriented. And I've often wondered why, when driving by, and this may seem a little bit off topic, but you'll see how it all congeals in a second. I've often wondered why, when driving by certain neighborhoods, I see certain ethnicities that have probably gone back 5, 6, 7 generations in the United States, and they're still living in the same mobile home parks.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's a bad place to live. Perhaps they're there by choice. However, if their thought process had been differently generationally, they by organizing their wealth such that it would be passed on to the next generation, they would be living the very fruitful, financially speaking, lives. Now, what I'm getting to is this: what I saw in Black Business Orlando reminded me very much of that. And I'm not sure if you thought about it in this metaphor before, but what I see in it shows elements of the tribe. Do you see that?
Absolutely. That's part of the goal. And we want to create a tribe. You know, that's the idea, is to bring us all together with one common goal. And what I figured out, and I think what we all figured out, is that business is the way to close the wealth gap, to close the gap as far as Black people and the economic standards, right? The economic standards that we have. So we want to create a tribe of people who this is where we go to feel safe, to support each other, and to grow and build our organizations, our families, our communities. So yeah, the tribe is the right way to go. I kind of liken it to, sometimes when I speak, the cultish mentality that we're all together and we're going to support each other. If anyone has anything else to say about us, we're supporting and backing each other up. Like we're in it together. That's the idea.
What I don't want listeners to get take from this is that we're not open to helping people outside of the tribe.
Of course,
that's not the case at all. But that our fundamental strength derives from the tribe.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
No, I've been in business, retail, very tough business. Most of my adult life I spent in the military, so it was really between myself and the Prime Minister, my wife.
I love that.
We ran a chain of retail stores. We've been in real estate for a long time,
Right.
and we've dealt with marketers. And of course, success gurus are always telling us how important marketing is, but they never go beyond that.
Yeah.
They keep it as a general statement. And for them, marketing basically came down to give us money, and we'll put you in some coupon distribution. However, the true beauty that I saw when I was going over the materials on Instagram, some of the materials you sent me, is that I saw a comprehensive system that was developed that covers digital marketing, covers one-on-one encounters, education, events. Could you tell us a little bit? Why don't we start with one of those?
So I'll talk about digital marketing because it kind of leaks into all of the other avenues or the verticals, we call them. Digital marketing is the easiest and cheapest way to get your business out there. And the problem with most people, or not most people, but most businesses with the lack of education is understanding how powerful digital marketing is and how inexpensive it is to actually work that way. But they don't have a system. Like you talked about, a lot of marketers used to come to retailers and come to your location. These gurus, they give you all the what to do. All day long, they tell you what to do, but they don't give you the how. You got to pay for the how. And most of the time, the how is really surface level. These are things that you can pick up with a few simple Google searches or an hour-long conversation, and you can take it and run. I mean, there's tons of free resources. So systemization is the most important part when it comes to marketing, is knowing what to do with your marketing. Now, when those gurus and those marketers come to you and they're offering you all these different services to put you on a mailing list that they bought from somewhere, what I want to avoid and get rid of is the misconceptions and the misleading of businesses. And when it comes to marketing, and I offer systems. My company is called Exclusive Marketing and Automation. We build systems and we automate things for businesses. And I also give the education totally for free. The same thing I would tell someone on a consult, I give out. You can check all of my YouTube, my Instagram, stuff like that. You get all that stuff for free because that's what's important, is the what to do and the strategic what to do. So
by digital marketing, you're not only referring to sending masses of emails out for people to open up. No. Because that was the first thing that crossed my mind. And I remembered, because I'm old enough to remember when the internet came out, we would open everything.
Yeah.
And now I think the open rates are a lot less, probably across the board. So can you give us a little bit more in depth? What do you mean by digital marketing?
So with digital marketing, anything that has to do with online or marketing your business on the internet. Now, there's 7 verticals when it comes to that. You have email marketing, you have mobile marketing, you have website marketing, you have SEO, you have SEM. SEO is search engine optimization. SEM is search engine marketing, or as far as that goes. Then you have the digital marketing or social media marketing. Which is your social media platforms. So those are all different ways to market your business online with the internet. Now, the most prevalent one, and the one I'm kind of fighting for, is more companies to have websites, because it allows you to be found via the search engine optimization. And search engine optimization is really just when you type in something on Google or on Bing or any other search engines, now with AI as well. It goes and finds whatever you're looking for. So the words that you type in should be the same words that show up on your website or on your social media, which makes it easy for people to find you. It makes it easy for Google or other search engines to show your business because they know what you are, what kind of business you are. So digital marketing in a nutshell is just any way you market online. Even a simple post on social media is considered digital marketing. You're marketing your business online and you're reaching a big audience.
Yeah. In addition to the digital marketing, I know that you have a directory.
Yeah. So the Black Business Directory is pretty awesome. We started it before when we started the organization, and we put it down. It went down for a little bit. The COVID situation happened, so we had to fall back. But now we've rebuilt the business directory, and business can get a part of the directory totally for free. You can go with 2 other levels where you pay $4.99 a month, which is $5. Very, very easy. We give you access to some resources, posting within our large group on email and marketing materials. You can go even further. We've added a few other resources. We're working with Chase Bank right now for some funding resources. I don't know if you're familiar with digital cards, business cards. So,
yes, yeah, business cards, yes.
So digital business cards are everywhere. You have like Dot, you have a few other people. Well, I have a gentleman, black-owned business, who develops these cards himself, but on a different level. So it's almost like a landing page through your card, which improves networking. It gives people the opportunity to learn as much as they can about your business before they make a purchase. Now, the importance part of this is that these days attention is small. It's very limited. And Google did a report. It used to take about 6 to 7 interactions with your business before someone made a purchase. Now it's up to 11 interactions.
That much?
Yeah. Intentions drop down. So it takes more than trust. You have a lot of big brands, a lot of big organizations that don't have a face to it. So
are we talking about all interactions or?
All interactions.
Okay, not just via telephone or via email or?
All interactions. So a kind of a combination of each.
Maybe that's a little bit more understandable.
Right. Yeah, it takes a little bit more. Google searches, reviews, things of that nature. So it just takes a lot more to get a customer's trust. And so what we do through that landing page is we just make it easier, a few more touches to get you closer to that conversion. And a lot of other resources. I don't want to hype too much because it's a lot. That we actually have on it.
Please, by all means.
Yes, the directory is basically set to make it when people come into town. We're in a tourist area in Central Florida. So when tourists come to town, your business is on that directory. So if they're looking to support a black business, they would go there and be able to find your organization like that. It covers all of Central Florida. So that's the idea behind it. And it makes it easier for other businesses who aren't within our group or organization to find you as well.
And I assume it would be updated periodically.
Absolutely.
Once every 30 days, once every 6 months, once a year.
Yeah, we do it every week, actually.
Every week?
Yeah. I have a gentleman who runs that completely. So every week we update it.
When you said you have a gentleman, I think I'm going to take a brief detour here before I forget. At my age, sometimes I forget where I park my car, right? So I might as well catch it right now before I forget.
Absolutely.
The foundations of any business are based on several pillars, right? And we can mention many pillars, but I'll just mention 3: dress for success and make your environment one that can prosper.
Right.
A second one would be to put together a dream team.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm going to stop here and let you tell me about your dream team.
So,
because I know you have a dream team.
Yeah, I have a couple actually. So I have one for my business and one for Black Business Orlando. Black Business Orlando is the most prevalent. We have a team of about 5, all entrepreneurs, all successful business owners, entrepreneurs themselves, because I want those kind of people leading the charge. So if they're communicating with people in the business, I want them to have experience so that they can also educate and help them because they're on the same page. Then I have a technical team for Black Business Orlando, a gentleman named Brandon Washington. He's actually based out of Texas, and he has his own Black business organization. So, because we're looking to branch and kind of expand this thing out a little bit. But my team is like, when we say we're going to do something, we get it done. It's that kind of thing where I trust them. We're turning it into a family. That's the idea, is that we want these people to be close to. And I want to take care of them, because you take care of people, they take care of you.
Does Black Business Orlando also have an advisory board or board of directors?
Yes. So it's actually part of the board of directors are one and the same.
Really?
So
okay.
we're all in a team. I don't want to expand it out
so
too
your
far.
Operational team is also your advisory or board of directors team?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. I don't want to expand it out too much to lose touch.
So you have a financial person, a legal person, marketing person.
Yep.
Okay,
that's how we structure it, man. That's the idea, because also I want the board of directors to also educate people in these areas as well, because these are the areas that we need education on, especially funding, especially legal. Those are the 2 areas, financing and legal, that we definitely need a lot of help on. So the people that I bring into the organization are experts in these particular areas.
Education. Does Black Business Orlando have an online academy? Is education done one-on-one? Is there an account that every subscriber would log into and take courses? Is it, for example, like small business administration, where you would meet one-on-one, let's say with one of your experts? How does that work, your educational aspect? We're
building actually out an educational platform. It hasn't been launched yet. We hadn't really delved into the area. It's always been an area we want to get into, because that group is primarily networking for the most part. But we're actually building a educational platform. So right now, I'll go in and teach a little bit about marketing, networking. We'll have other members go in and tap into certain other areas. What we're going to do next is create some webinars with some big time experts, and then take those webinars and turn those into educational platforms and make it very, very inexpensive to gain access to. So that's in the work. We're looking at probably the end of this year launching that, but that is in the works. And then members will have access to it. Yeah. So that one will be a little bit more specific for members of the group to have access to it. You won't be able to be outside the group and access it because we want to make that a little bit more exclusive.
Oh, all right. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, so we covered education, we covered the directory, we covered digital marketing, but what really grabbed my heart the first time I started looking into Black business at Orlando, especially on Instagram, were your events.
Yes.
This is my opinion. I think that the internet is an invention almost as important as the Gutenberg press.
Yes,
all right. I agree. However, I think that people can become easily intoxicated and go too far in one direction.
True.
Right? So such that we've come to a point where when I go to Starbucks, I'll see couples sitting next to each other texting someone else, right?
It's the worst.
Right, exactly. Or, for example, encounters. So there could be romantic encounters between two young people. Don't occur until after they separate and then they start texting each other.
Right.
So much so that I think if I could somehow rewind my own time machine, I could run circles around these young guys.
Oh, easily.
Right.
Yeah.
So I believe that the importance of your events takes advantage of that natural human need to interact with people. Tell me a little bit about the events.
So we have a few events we're actually working on. We run every single month. We run a workshop. It's free to come to. We do it at Serendipity Labs downtown. Beautiful, beautiful facility. I myself speak, and we always have guest speakers come in to just educate on different topics, eat some free food, and then socialize. It's a nice, intimate, smaller location, so it's great to connect with people because the real business is people. I mean,
absolutely.
What do you have? You don't have business if you don't have people, and you have to go where the people are. Like what you talked about is people texting or young people texting while they're next to each other and close to each other. Is that disconnect? With the internet, we're more connected than ever, but we're less connected than ever. Right? No one really speaks to each other, and you're losing out on the art of communication and connection, which is what business is. Right. So the kind of events that we have, the small events, we actually host a larger event, kind of a party style networking, speed networking event, international drive once a month. And then we're actually going to be running some smaller mixers, once a month just to keep people in front of each other. We also have some community engagement events coming up. Black August we have. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but Black August is right now. It's a business. Business August.
I don't know about Black August.
I'll just go into it just a little bit. Black August is more of about freedom and freedom of Black people to have their own businesses and industries and do that kind of thing. So we have an event just talking about that at the end of the month on the 29th. So we'll be kind of going into that and just celebrating having Black business because a lot of people don't know what happened after slavery and what happened with Black businesses, Black Wall Street.
Yes.
What even happened here locally in Orlando and Ocoee. There was huge massacres.
Here in Orlando.
I
had no idea.
You can look it up. It's the Ocoee Massacre. It was a big one. I won't go into too much detail. Just it's horrific. But what we've overcome to be where we are now and to support each other, that's kind of what Black August is about for the business portion. So we have events like that. We're getting out to the community, teaching kids business. We have a organization on West Oaks Mall. This is just for all the people local called GLG. Mm-hmm. And what they do is they have a center where kids can go there and learn about business, build businesses, actually start their own businesses, have a business center where they can do their podcast, they can print, they can have meetings, things of that nature. So we're doing all kinds of events to just get people active and show different things. And I have one more that I want to mention because we're getting back into the tech space. I have a gentleman in telecommunications. I have a gentleman, Microsoft engineer, and I have another app platform for creators like yourself that's Black owned, and we're going to have a conversation about Black people in tech and how important that is, for us to get out into tech and not just, do art and basketball and music and things of that nature. There are other avenues that we can go out to be successful. So we got a few things going on, events that keep people active.
How can people participate? Is it by invitation only? Do they have to go online and sign up?
So participating are specifically for group members. Our events are acts for everyone. If you go to our Instagram or our Facebook page, they're there. We post all of our events there. All you have to do is hit Eventbrite, RSVP, or just show up. Everyone's welcome.
That's wonderful. Have you by chance ever seen the movie Schindler's List?
Yes, sir.
There's a very poignant moment in Schindler's List where Schindler and his manager, I don't remember his manager's name now, they're up the entire night typing up the list of individuals that Schindler is going to purchase.
Okay.
Essentially to save their lives.
Yes.
Save their lives. And after the list has been completed and after Schindler has smoked at least 10 packs of cigarettes, right? His manager holds up this list. Stern. His name was Stern. Itzhak Stern. And he holds up the list and he says, "This is an absolute good." Now, the reason I bring that up is because almost everything in life involves some kind of a quid pro quo, some kind of a yin and yang. Yeah. However, what Schindler did was purely one-sided and purely oriented toward humanity's good. And I'm not suggesting that Black Business Orlando is working for free. However, I see Black Business Orlando in the same light, is performing an absolute good.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, most of the things we actually do are free. We don't charge for the events. Yeah, we don't charge for anything. The only things we ever really charge for are when we do our summits. We're actually working on a Black Business Summit. Of course, we have to pay for that because they're larger in multiple days. So, but most of the other things we do, all our education training is free. The directory is the only thing that else has a charge. We also offer, and I actually do want to talk about this resource, which hasn't been utilized as much as it should. But it's on the subject line of email marketing. Apologize here. Yeah, on email marketing, we actually offer an email blast of up to 50,000 emails in the Central Florida area. All consumers that opted in to work with Black businesses. So if you're a Black business and you need to reach people and you just need traction, we have 50,000 people you can reach out to.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
As mentors,
as business. So sell products, to sell services. Oh, right. So if you have a cake making shop, right, and you need some more business, right, you pay us $40, and this email goes out to 50,000 people in Central Florida. So just imagine you get 4 or 5% of those people who decide to service your business or patronize. It's crazy.
You've done a lot. I don't know how old you are, but you look very, very young. And if you remove the beard and the mustache, probably just a baby, right?
Yeah,
I know you're involved in other activities as well. I didn't know until this morning when we started chatting before we began recording. Can you tell us a little bit about some of those other activities, especially those that in some way, shape, or form tie in with the mission of Black Business Orlando?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, happy to. So I'm a part of an organization called Black Men Build. And this organization is specifically for Black men and building up Black boys and Black men and getting us to connect and communicate again and work together like we used to. And then opening up. A lot of us don't have a lot of access to mental health and support as much as, any counterparts or peers. And it's a societal thing. It's a cultural thing in a sense. But the purpose of the group is to grow Black men and Black boys. So I'm a part of that because I have a little bit of history and part of my story is not receiving that support from Black men that I looked up to who were in higher positions that I wanted help from. And not help as far as give me money, but educate me, teach me whatever you're doing so that I can become who you are. I want that. And I didn't get the support I was looking for. So this part of the organization is a little bit personal for me. But at the same time, it ties into Black Business Orlando because we have a Black men base. We're primarily Black women as far as in the group, and I want to get more Black men active in the group, even supporting our women as well. Then I'm a part of another organization called NLC, which is New Leaders Council, national organization dealing with all aspects of community, and I go there to gain resources to bring back to Black Business Orlando, and they help focus on whatever issue you have or that you focus on and you're passionate about. They give you support in that. And I'm a part of that organization to bring resources and support to Black Business Orlando. And it's more of it's a leadership platform, a little bit political in a sense, but it's awesome. And I'm a part of those few things. It keeps me busy.
Life is political.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You know, what you were just saying, I was listening intently and paying very close attention, but of course, running an interior dialogue.
Yeah.
And a light bulb went off above my head, the bubble above my head.
Yeah, I saw it. I think I did.
You saw it, huh? it dealt with the education, right? So regardless of whether you realized it or not, I think you did. You hit upon both the technical as well as the mental in that. So my thoughts were regarding your workshops, and my thoughts were regarding the cultivation of being, right? Now, getting back to the workshops for a second, financing is always a big part of starting a new business, and oftentimes can make or break the business. Whether individual self-finances, goes to family and friends, credit cards, angel investors, goes to the bank, seller financing, whenever that might apply. Small business administration loans, but most people don't have a clue. Most people don't have a clue regarding LLC formation, where they should use an S Corp, C Corp. They go on YouTube, which only provides them cursory information, and very few people go to the libraries anymore. So the first part of that question is, can you tell us a little bit more in depth regarding the educational portion of Black Business Orlando, what it covers specifically in terms, or maybe even they offer financial assistance. Maybe you even connect people for financial assistance, or maybe you give workshops on how to fund or raise money.
Yeah, so we're actually doing all of those things. For anything specific, we outsource. And we refer Black businesses to experts within the group first, and then outside of the group.
Which is important because you can trust these people.
Right, exactly. And the idea is to not make ourselves a monolith, right? We won't want everyone thinking that it's just us, because you want to have trust. And one of the things is reciprocity and stepping out, saying, hey, well, we have this, but this person can also serve you, which shows that we're for the people. But we also have our workshops, like our workshop on the 27th for Serendipity Labs. We're going to have a financial advisor there speaking, to talk about funding and finances. Some of our webinars that we're going to be developing and that we've had talk about financing and education on financing. So we touch all of those topics on the internet. I'm actually creating some documents and PDFs for people to reference that come from experts to just have free access to in the group. We even have that. So we talk about marketing. Marketing is probably the number one subject every member coming into our organization asks for help with. Retention, marketing, branding. Those are the areas they all ask for. Funding would be the next one. Next step up. So we're trying to create things for those people. We also talk about we talk about the branding, funding. I know I'm forgetting one right now. My team will be mad at me. But we cover a lot of different avenues.
Marketing, funding, and then we discuss the administrative portion,
the administrative portion, taxes. We're actually partnered with ADP. So ADP gives us some nice discounts for any members coming over to help them. Yeah. Sometimes they move it around a little bit, but I've seen them give 20% off and then 3 months for free of the service just to get business acclimated and in to help with human resources, employees and taxes as well. So we even offer those services. We have tax experts. There's a chat inside the group. You can go into the chat and ask questions and get a tax expert to actually help you out totally for free. We have a marketing chat. We have
and these are all with live human beings.
Yeah, live human beings. So you go in there, you ask a question, you'll get a response from an actual expert within that particular area. So we try to touch everything. We're just moving into more of a hybrid space, and we want to create this hive mentality in a sense, and that's more of the in-person stuff. We're actually focusing a little bit more on that.
See, because what people watching this will be thinking is that, yes, I saved a few shekels by going online to buy insurance, but when I had questions, there was no one there. Or or for example, I called the financial corporation company that I have my funds at. I called them and they referred me to call my investment advisor. So the individual where they see themselves is as a solitary individual. They belong to an organization that they thought or hoped would help them, but they're kind of still on their own. Yeah. Because they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what to do next. They call in. They're met with someone maybe with a high school education who refers them to someone else, doesn't tell them what to do. And that's what you expect from a trusted advisor, is for someone to tell you what to do, or at least suggest another team, another department that can help them.
Yeah. And I think that's the main thing. People want to know what to do. That was my thing when I was growing up. What do I do? I see everyone doing it, but how do I do it?
Exactly.
And that's what you have a trusted advisor for. And I kind of want to offset that and give a place for people to ask for help. Totally free if you're already a part of the organization, which when I say organization, I want to clarify it's the Facebook group. That's where we have most of our memberships. We might move some of that to the website. We might not. We're working in the area, but joining our Facebook group, totally free. You don't have to have a business. It's people who support businesses there, and then business owners there. And we want to show them what to do, not just how to do it, but what to do, because that's the part people need the most help with. There's so many free resources out there, but most people need a direction. It needs to be uniform for them, because it gets confusing. I mean, there's information overload. Information overload has always been a thing, but now we have access to so much more information so quickly that you don't really learn anything, because your brain can only handle so much at a time. You got to think of your brain like a computer. It's like you have a certain amount of memory, which you can have tons and tons and tons of memory, but depending on the processor you have, you may not be able to use all that memory that you have. And it's the same thing with everyone. That attention overload affects that. So our goal is is this what your attention is on now? We can answer those questions for you. Your attention is on marketing next day. Here's a place you can go, and we'll tell you exactly what to do with your marketing. That's the idea.
Have you ever thought of, or perhaps you have something similar to some kind of a boot camp?
I thought about it. We've never done it.
Yeah.
We've been trying to figure out the right way to go about a boot camp, in a sense, for businesses. I've done a few surveys and put some polls out. People want it, but we haven't done it yet. So that's something we're working on.
I see two possibilities for that boot camp. One could be, for example, more academic. Or the other could be like a real boot camp.
And that's
where you focus on something almost more akin to SEAL training. For that mental aspect that we were talking about a little bit earlier.
I think that'll be most effective. It's just figuring out what people will really want to do and how to approach them, especially with how sensitive the climate is to just saying anything. So I think we need to have a selection process and application to
signing disclaimers,
that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's in the works. I want to do something like that. I think it'll be very, very different than anything I've seen done here in Central Florida. It's a great idea. One day.
Yeah, that, as you pointed out, that requires a bit more thought, and you maybe might bring in your legal guy on that one too.
Exactly.
Yeah. What do you see as the future of Black Business Orlando?
So as far as Black Business Orlando, I see it. If you're familiar with most Chamber of Commerces, we're larger than most, and we have a lot of people who built their entire business through our organization. Okay,
really?
Yes. We have stories and testimonials or people
K through 12.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Built their business and built a successful business strictly through our group, with our group's help and support, and of course moved it outside. So what my goal is I want us to become an absolute resource for businesses to come in, grow from every avenue, because there's organizations like NEC, which is the National Entrepreneur Center. There's SCORE, then there's the SBA, who offer all these resources, which we're actually partnering with most of those organizations. But I want Black businesses, to be able to come to us and then explode. their business in every way, shape, and form. So when they come
Quantum leap.
Quantum leap, exactly. I love that. Explode their business. So when they come out, they're good to go. They're ready to go, and then they can come back and add to our organization and to the next group that's coming in. So that's my overarching goal. But all the little avenues that we're taking to do it have to come together to make that possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because right now we have a stigma in every business. It's not just Black businesses to promote. As long as I tell as many people as possible about my business, then that's how I grow my business. My business is going to be successful, and we're striking for low hanging fruit. And oftentimes it doesn't lead to success, it leads to stress and failure. What I'm looking to get people to understand now that's more important is to build your brand, understand who your audience is, and teach, educate, entertain, but don't always go for the kill right out of the gate.
Yes.
You know, it's just like meeting anyone in the street. Like I meet you in a grocery store and I don't know if you could use my business or not, but I'm like, hey, you want to buy my soap? I don't even know if the guy uses soap. You understand? It's having those conversations, and a lot of problems that we have is networking. Mm-hmm. That happens where people are just promoting, but no one knows who you are and who you represent. You have to be a part. People want to be a part of something. They want to be important. They want to say, I'm a part of this, and you should be a part of it because it represents them. It's a part of them. I always liken it to Star Wars fans and Star Trek fans. If you're familiar with the beef they used to have. But a Star Wars fan is diehard, right? That is a part of their identity. And a business, when they're looking for customers, should have the same feel, is that they're talking to a specific group and that group identifies with that business. That gets you more sales these days than faces brands and promote, because everyone does what you do. There's not really that many new businesses and new ways to do business. Most people have competition. So the only way you set yourself apart is really connecting with the audience, like we talked about with digital. Most people aren't as connected as before, and it all circles back to getting to know your audience, getting in front of them, talking to people, and understanding who you're speaking with and who you are.
I understand exactly and everything that you're saying, but coming from a different life experience.
Sure.
And I suppose this is where I'll slightly open the kimono a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
I had come back from a deployment, my last deployment, and I went to go see a counselor. I don't think I told my family even about that. I may have told them. I went to go see a counselor. And so the counselor asked me, she said, is there anything you miss about war? And I thought for a moment, and I became a little bit emotional, and I swallowed kind of hard.
Right.
And then I said, yeah, pretty much all of it.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like a very illogical thing to say.
Right.
Because how could you miss war? But it wasn't necessarily the war itself. I came to the realization it was the camaraderie that we experienced. The fact that you had people, and not everyone was your friend, but that you knew that you were all in it together.
Right.
You could depend upon these people.
Oh, that's
big.
And
everything was black and white. I remember coming back home to visit when my parents were still alive. May they rest in peace. And I went with my mother to a Starbucks. I just come back from Iraq. I was on a 2-week leave. I felt like I was on the moon.
Right.
Because I went from Iraq to a Starbucks in Beverly Hills.
Oh, my goodness.
And I heard somebody at the counter beginning to complain, not just complain, but nag about the amount of foam that they should have had in their Breve Cappuccino.
Oh my God.
And I started to get up, and I immediately felt my mom put her hand on my shoulder because she knew what was coming next.
Yeah.
Right? And but that's I believe that what you're doing and what's coming, especially if you do this boot camp, can create that kind of environment. Not a war environment, but something where people can feel that they're part of a greater whole.
Right, exactly.
And I think you've already done it. But I see a marvelous future.
Thank you.
The other aspect you were referring to, people reaching out in terms of the mental aspect of it. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that there's that you have a certain process for doing that as well. I mean, you don't want to have people calling you or texting you at 1 a.m.
No. Yeah. I have a set schedule set out for those kind of meetings. Every day between 12 and 2 p.m. You can call me anytime. If you have questions, if you want to have a meeting, consultation, things of that nature, it's all on my calendar. You go online, we click on my site, and you click book. It's there. That's the time frame I set. And then I have certain days like Thursday where I'll have a little more time throughout the day and move it around. But yeah, we have a process because in the group, anytime before 7, you'll get a response. Before 7 p.m. You'll get a response if you go into the group and you ask questions, things of that nature. One of the things we do, and I didn't mention this, is to kind of help people, is we don't allow you to post anything promotional unless it's Wednesday or Saturday. Because it forces people to post and talk about everything else up into that time frame to kind of build some momentum and reputation for themselves. Or if they need questions, they have questions about what to promote and how to talk about their business, they can do that and then promote on that Wednesday or Saturday. So yeah, we have processes in place to like keep it from getting too hectic and crazy, because we have people all times a day asking all kinds of questions all the time.
There's much going on in the world of your thoughts.
Yeah.
And far than what we could cover here right now. Are there perhaps any other projects, events, aspects, works in progress that I might not know about or we might not get to that you might want to make mention of now?
So I have a podcast. I've shifted my name to the Gentleman of Marketing. I'm building a YouTube channel /network for gentlemen in business. But I want to focus on marketing because that's what I know. I know like the back of my hand. But then we also talk about cigars, etiquette, whiskeys, wines, things of that nature. And at the same time, I actually have Black-owned businesses that supply those products. So Black-owned whiskey company, Black-owned cigar company, Black-owned wine company, to basically show people that we're everywhere. We're in everything in every industry. And then we're focusing on a thing called unified marketing. So we're making a shift where artificial intelligence is used in the marketing along with data to forecast results up to 96%. So if you run a retail location like you used to, all of the inventory, staffing, what customers are going to do, what customers are going to say and respond to emails, we can predict that now to 96% accuracy. It's pretty crazy. And then we have some other events with Black Business Orlando that we're focusing on through the directory. And we're going to focus on some workshops. And I want to do that boot camp idea. I want to run that thing. But those are the current new projects that we're focusing on really hard. Also, Black Business Orlando has a podcast we're going to be launching at the end of this month. We got about 10 episodes recorded. We're in the editing process. Yeah. We've recorded that. That's already done, and then we're just editing and going through that process. It's going to be on Apple. It's going to be on Spotify, iHeartRadio, the whole nine. So yeah,
it sounds like the only way to really find Michael is to follow the fire trail.
Yeah. Appreciate that. I stay busy, man.
Can people reach out to you personally, or do they need to go? Oh, really?
Absolutely.
What would be the best way for them to reach out to you?
Email is always the best. I like a trail. And it's easier for me to get through in time. Text message is always great as well. It makes it easier because my head's in so many different areas. It's difficult to get on the phone on a regular basis, but text message or email, I'll normally respond within the next 30 minutes.
Is that information that you feel comfortable
absolutely.
Giving out right now?
Yeah. Phone number is 407-663-4636. And then my personal email is michaelcormainpitts@gmail.com. Yeah, you can look at it I'm Michael C. Pitts everywhere. So if you look at my name, you'll find all of my social media and everything there.
Yeah, Michael, thank you so much for coming here. I wish you the very best of health and happiness, especially you and your family. And it was even sweeter to discover that we both have Brazilian wives too. We'll have to get together sometime for some delicious Brazilian food.
Definitely, brother. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, my man.
All business, no bull. Thank you for attending. We are not freedom. We are the ones who provoke it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button.